Imagine living with ankle pain for 10 years. You're afraid to run because your ankle might give way. You avoid dancing. You'll even gain weight because you can't move the way you used to. That was the reality for my client, a 40-year-old Army veteran, but just in 3 months, she completely turned it around. And the key wasn't just, basic physical therapy, rehab exercise. It was discipline. See, she'd been to multiple doctors and physical therapists in the past. And she got some temporary relief, but the pain would always come back. She told me, I feel like my ankle controls my life. I'm scared of moving the wrong way. But when she shifted from just waiting around to be fixed to owning the process with discipline, that's when everything changed. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how she went from fearful and frustrated, confident, and free, going from 15 pounds overweight to running a half marathon pain-free, and how discipline, not shortcuts, made it possible. If you're new to my page, my name is Dr. Ray Peralta, physical therapist, run coach, exercise physiologist, and Marine veteran. And over the past 10 years, I've helped hundreds of people rehab injuries, get back to running pain-free, and participate in the sports they want to do. So in this video, we're going to cover why more rehab wasn't the answer, the identity shift that unlocked her recovery, and the results of disciplined daily action. So why more rehab was enough? Most people think the answer is just, okay, just got to do more PT exercise. But the thing is, that's like just waiting around, thinking that the shortcut is just doing more of the same PT that didn't work in the past. We had to solve a bigger issue. Her real problem wasn't just a weak ankle or the ligaments around their ankle. It was the habits around her life, right? So yeah, she would do exercises, but then what was she doing outside of the 10 or 15 minutes she was spending on exercise, right? So it was the habits around her life, avoiding movement out of fear. Just, she was avoiding running or pivoting or any kind of movements that would really load the ankle. Gaining weight, that also stressed her joints, right? These are kind of things outside of the traditional rehab's realm. Her ergonomics, her posture, right? Her posture of her ankle, her whole body, affecting kind of her body like joint alignment and how things were moving. And then her sleep habits and just inconsistency with doing all these other lifestyle things that traditional rehab wasn't addressing with her, right? Because you go to your typical, use your insurance, go to the typical physical therapist. Sure, they'd give him some exercises. She would go maybe once a week for like 6 weeks or so, get some relief, but then kind of regress the second she stopped going and didn't really get complete recovery despite that. So, and the thing is, what most people understand, if you address the whole picture and not just the injured body part, many things, you could actually get pretty good results in the first 30 days, in the first month. And in 3 months, most things are pretty much healed, most types of injuries. Yes, there's some exceptions where it takes a bit longer, 6 months or more, but for most general injuries, like orthopedic wise, they do heal in about 3 months or so. And again, very rare exceptions into the 6 months. Point number two, the identity shift. See, this is where everything shifted, right? She stopped thinking of herself as just a patient waiting to be fixed, and like in the traditional healthcare system where like, oh, I'm a patient, I have to wait for the doctor to tell me what to do. And started acting like a soldier again, right? Starting to be disciplined, proactive, committed, right? Adapting, overcoming, instead of like making excuses like, oh, I don't have this piece of equipment or the timing's not working out for me, right? The discipline looked like daily walking and posture, even on days that she didn't feel like it or she was too busy, right? Her schedule was jam-packed. We started making that disciplined action, like, okay, let's be proactive. Let's sneak in some just movement before work, on the lunch break, around dinner time. And strengthening, and not just doing exercise just for the ankle, but strengthening the entire body, right? The entire kinetic chain. Because that's the hips actually influence how the ankle moves, and same thing with the knees, right? So you strengthen the knee, the hips, and even the lower back. That actually influence the ankle as well. Cleaning up her diet, right? Because she also was a bit overweight. Or sure, she wasn't morbidly obese, but just being overweight can still put more stress on the ankle than it has to on the joints, and just decreasing the weight will make the joints feel better, right? Getting to a healthier weight, eating whole foods, mostly plants, and cutting out the excuses. And sure, she still enjoyed some chicken and steak, but she didn't get like deep fried versions of it. She got like the grilled chicken, the lean cuts of beef. And by doing this, she actually started to lose some weight and take less pressure off her joints instead of making excuses like, oh, I don't know what to eat. She did know what to do. I mean, most people know that they have to eat healthy. It's just that they get caught up with work or whatever demands, and they kind of rationalize like, oh, let me just have some convenient foods. I understand when you're busy, you just kind of reach for whatever's convenient, cheeseburger or whatever, you just get it delivered, etc., the pizza. and I understand they get sometimes more tastier than the salad, but when you commit to the process, you can both improve your recovery and your health and lose weight on the way. Prioritizing sleep and recovery and stress management, like it was her mission, because she was also constantly stressed, which was also leading to muscle guarding. A lot of people don't realize this, but too much tension in the body can cause the muscles to guard or stiffen up, which also limits mobility and also limits strength. So by learning how to relax, get enough sleep, her body can also properly recover and finally start to see results. Sometimes the unlock for a lot of people is just getting enough sleep. Some people are like, oh, I'm not getting better with just the rehab exercises. Oftentimes they're just sleep deprived and not getting enough sleep. By also making sure they're getting enough sleep, that also helps them recover as well, right? And she stopped needing someone to babysit her. Instead of waiting like, oh, I need to wait for the therapist or the coach to watch me exercise, she owned the process, right? Committing to doing the work, right? Doing not just the exercises, but the lifestyle habits outside of the exercise, right? So she could actually have like a holistic, a full spectrum health instead of just focusing on the one body part where the traditional rehab or medical model does it. They just focus on the one body part, like, oh, yeah, take a pain pill for it, do some rehab exercise for that one body part. But no, we did a full body holistic approach. And that discipline is a bridge between where you are and where you want to go. So a lot of times people, again, don't get stuck with the traditional rehab. Again, they're just focusing on the one body part, ignoring everything else that goes into recovery. And point 3, the result of discipline. Because she stayed consistent, her ankle pain was gone in just 3 months. She lost 15 pounds, easing pressure on her joints. She felt better, looked better in her body, regained confidence to run, jump, pivot around on it, dance, and she even completed a half marathon, something she thought she'd never do again, or maybe that it was going to take her 5 years from now or something. And all this happened in just 3 months. And all this was also done virtually online. See, a lot of times people think that they have to go in person to a clinic to like work with a physical therapist in person or someone like myself. But I have the experience of working with people since the pandemic, right? Working with people virtually. Yes, I've also been working with people in person prior to that. But virtually, it is definitely possible to rehab injuries, get healthy, and incorporate this disciplined lifestyle. But you have to commit to the process, right? You can't just half-ass these things and think, oh, I'm just going to do the exercise and ignore everything else, ignore the diet, the sleep, recovery. You need everything, or otherwise you're going to get incomplete results. So her story proves this. There's no shortcut, no magic exercise, no hack. What works is discipline, showing up, owning your health and recovery, right, outside of the gym, outside of the one exercise, and refusing to settle. And if you're a veteran who's stuck with chronic pain, whether it's ankle pain, knee pain, etc., and you're ready to take ownership, check out my free training, a link in the description. It's geared towards running, but you could apply this to other sports or endeavors, right? So my free training currently is running pain-free. You could check out that link in the description. I'll show you the exact system that I use to rebuild strength and freedom. And if you want additional support on that same link, you could actually click the booking link to actually book a call with me for free consult call to uncover, hey, what's going on with your pain or injury and see how I can help you with the next steps.